Hey folks, I'm going to start today's video with what did I do clip. It's not very often I get angry with somebody, but in this particular case it was like instant. It's really hard for me to watch this because every time I watch it, hair stands up on the back of my neck, and that feeling just comes back right away, and I think you'll understand why. So I'll set up what's happening here. When I leave Timmy's, I have to go through the drive-through exit, and it's a blind corner. I can't just go flying out in front of somebody, so when I get to the corner I slow down and make sure there's nobody coming. Now, on this particular day, there's the front end of a truck sticking out, so I have to go around it and then, peek around the truck. So, and this happens. The reason this angers me is not so much that he almost hit me, but he obviously blamed me for it. And like I said, it was instant anger. So I'm guessing this is how road rage happens. Two people suddenly find themselves in a situation where, the other person's at fault. And I guess in a real road rage condition, this would have carried on. I could have turned around and gone and confronted him and continued on with the anger. I just ignored it. It angered me, but I just kept going. This isn't the first time this has happened. There's several times when something's happened and I get blamed for it, even though they almost hit me or whatever. So, am I right here? Did I do nothing wrong, or do you see something that I don't see here that I actually did cause anger in this person legitimately? I'm not seeing it, but with somebody else's point of view, you may be able to shed some light on what's happening here. Like I say, when I watch this, the anger just comes back. So normally if I see something later on, I'll see it differently, I've calmed down or whatever, but I'm not seeing that in this situation. So am I right or am I wrong? Speaking of anger, I think Old Man Winter was taking a nap, and he woke up in a grumpy mood and saw that we were enjoying the lack of cold temperatures and decided to smack us into submission, and well, he did that quite effectively. So we had a system come through. Tuesday night it was supposed to get really cold and windy, and I was going to start up the snow squalls, and that was supposed to last all the way into Thursday morning. Yeah, it was not a good time to be out. I had to go out in order to return my faulty keyboard to Amazon. I had to get a label printed because I don't have ink for my printer right now. So I had to go out searching for that. And let's just say it wasn't a good day to be out. But before I went out that morning, I got woke up about 5:30 to call on the scanner.
Attention North Huron, Wing on Fire. This is an information page, and an information page only. That Ballad station is responding 3-tiered to a single vehicle MBC with a livestock truck on its side. 2 patients, no entrapment, 1 with lower back pain. Again, information page for Wingham Station. Time in North Huron pages 5:34:28.
So I'm thinking, okay, there's a truck on its side in the ditch. That means the roads aren't very nice, and that means it's probably not nice out already. And this was very early Wednesday morning, so I hadn't been sleeping that long, so I went back to bed. I never even bothered looking out. But when I went out, I already had quite a bit. And I went out the first time and found out I couldn't get the pictures or the labels printed in the format that I had. So I had to go back home and set things up properly and go out a second time. And while I was out, I decided I'm going to see if I can go through the trail, because the monster's going through the snow, no problem. The issue I had was because it got so cold, the snow that was already on the ground before this had frozen. And I know that sounds funny, snow being frozen, but I mean, like solidified like concrete. You get nights you're driving down the highway and you're hitting snow drifts, it's no big deal. But if it gets super cold, all of a sudden the snow drifts harden and they become like speed bumps. You tend to go over them instead of through them. That's kind of what it was like. So I had to get off the monster and push it back out. And I said, nope, I'm not going to be going through here. So stick to the roads where all the fresh snow is. But it was just crazy. I wasn't counting on the snow being frozen. I thought I could ride through it.
Oh no.
It's like concrete.
Be careful.
Oh wait. And sometime during that night, I saw the coldest temperatures that we've seen so far this year. It was minus 19, which is pretty cold, and that didn't include the wind chill. shortly after midnight. I couldn't sleep. I got most of my bedroom moved around. I was totally, completely worn out. I was so sore. My back was just killing me. So, I had the bed pretty much complete. I don't have the box spring on it yet, but I'm enjoying it. I'm going to bed early tonight. And, well, dealing with the mold from it and being in pain. My ankles and my legs were cramping up. And I was having a hard time sleeping as it is. And then the unthinkable happens.
Attention North Huron Blythe firefighters, please respond to address 82563 Burns Line. That's 82563 Burns Line for a house on fire. Caller is out resident. 82563 Burns Line.
There is no good time for a house fire, but when it comes to Christmas fires, I absolutely hate them. It's got to be the worst possible time to have a house fire. I do have another one. There was one here in town last year, Boxing Day actually, and when my videos from 2018 catch up to it, I'll be showing that one. It wasn't very pleasant, but this one's out of town, so I no hope in going to actually get video of it or anything. But it started just after midnight, and I knew this was going to be going on for several hours, and I can't just have the scanner going and not listen to it. So I decided, okay, I'm going to go out for a drive. So I went out about 1:30, I think it was, in the morning. And just went and grabbed me a coffee and went for a tour. Oh boy, that was cold. But I got some fresh air and cleaned the mold dust, mold spores out of my nose. And I'll explain all that when I do my room tour update, how it looks now. It's not completely finished yet. I did most of it that night, but it's going to take me a while to recover, so I'm kind of doing a little bit each day. And hopefully I'll get to that soon. And next day, the winds died down. It's not crazy like it was. Snow squalls have died down, and temperatures warmed up a little bit. And it's still below freezing, but it's nothing like it was. So I stopped down at the dam, take a break. Yeah, at this point, the river's pretty much completely frozen over, except for the fastest part. And it's starting to look like a real winter now. But it's not going to stick around. Looking at the 14-day forecast, and yep, it's going to melt again. And the cycle continues. It's snow, melt, rain, repeat. So we might end up with a green Christmas this year. I don't know what's going to happen. But we got an update to the forecast.
All right, Ontario, we've got an updated look at your winter forecast, January 2020 and beyond. And we're going to continue to use the term the polar vortex. We've still got cold Arctic air. That's going to be really our dominant pattern as we head through the winter season. The coldest temperature anomalies focused across central Canada from the eastern prairies throughout much of the Great Lakes and through southern Ontario. And when we take a closer look, you can see the below normal temperatures are really going to be our dominant story across central and northern portions of the province. Down towards the south, we expect slightly below normal temperatures to be our story throughout this season, and that's because a ridge over the Atlantic Ocean at times will fight back, and that'll allow some milder air to move in at times throughout the winter season. Now, when we take a look at our precipitation, we expect more of that active storm track to continue across the Great Lakes, more snow than normal for much of the Great Lakes, not only just the snow belts, which will continue to get hit hard with abundant lake effect snow events until the lakes freeze over. So we do expect, again, more snowy, active weather. And when we take a look at our weather highlights for this winter season, we expect a long, cold, and snowy winter season for the Great Lakes, Ontario, and a sluggish start to spring. They're
still saying the same thing. Cold and snowy. So I'm not sure when this is supposed to start, but it can delay as long as it wants, as long as it doesn't, continue on into spring. Let's have spring early this year. That would be nice. Yeah, nice start to summer in May. That would make me happy. So I guess that's it for this video. Next one I'll do the house fire audio. Apparently where I put my scanner, it's happy now. I was picking up Blythe, no problem. And it was actually, I think I took it off the charger base. Didn't have the hum in it. But if I remember correctly, when the call first came in, it was sitting on the charger, and I don't think I was getting that hum. But either way, I was hearing Blythe, I was hearing the fire department, and the actual location of the fire was the other side of Blythe. So to actually hear their transmissions from the firemen themselves, that was pretty good. So I think the scanner's happy where it is now. So I'll do that in its own video. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching.